All right, to our beautiful and amazing royals of Africa. Look at that. My favorite batatas. All right. Our amazing son, Dr. Patrice. Mbolo, my dear son. Mbolo, Dr. Our son, Philippe Fortune. Bua. I see you guys in the chat. Come on in, come on in. Let's have a royal chat. All right, all right. Who else do we have there? Let me see. Is the chat here? All right, all right. I see you, VRT 706. Mbote Baya, I see you. Yay! Batatas, bananas. All right, today we are going to talk about another one of another jewel pertaining to us. All right, come on in, my dear royals of Africa. So to my amazing and beautiful royals of Africa, Mbolo, Mboloni, my people, this is your queen, Queen Ngningone II, 17th generation crown queen of the Fang people, also known as the immortal. My dear brothers and sisters, welcome, welcome, welcome to our palace. Now, if you are new to my channel, welcome. This is Nubia, the path to return, the home of the African royals. If you like my vibe, stick around. I bet you will learn something. Now, to my beautiful and amazing royals of Africa returning today, we are talking about activating our divine abundance. Okay? I hope many of you have already watched the video on either Patreon or Vimeo. So our identity, that's why I took the time to explain the name of each one of the patriarchs. Come on in, come on in, come on in. So I took the time to explain each one of the name of the meaning of each one of the patriarchs so that our beautiful children out there can know what words were spoken over our people. Us being God people means that there's God in us, all right? So Tata Zambe, told us that he created us in his image. Well, most people from different races may say that, but the particularity that comes with us, his children, I'm inviting you guys to click on the link on the description below to go watch the videos. I believe it was in part 1, volume B, where I share my chart. And before I did, I explained the name Semi in Kikongo. All right, Semi means Shem. So over there, I broke down the word, what it means. Basically, short, Shem means the creator. Okay, so when we climb our tree, not only we get to Egypt, it means this is where our kingdoms, all the Bantu kingdoms were established there before the migration of our people. So not only it places us in Egypt, and it will also tell us from who we got the crown and who is son of. So in our tree, when we go back, we go to, in my case, it would be Manasseh. In your case, it would be Zebulani, it will be Simayoni, be whomever. And then after that, we will go to Semi, and that's Shem, the son of Noah. So what our elders teach us about the fact that we are descendants of Shem, it means that in the house of Noah, okay, Shem was, when you hear refer to the children of Israel as the chosen, let me explain and take you to where we get that from. So among the children of Noah, he chose Shem to be his lineage on earth. Okay, so that's why Semi means the creator. So when we climb our genealogy and we get to him, we say Semi in our language mean of the creator. So what does it mean? It means that just like he created the world with the word, okay, he gave that authority over our parents. You know, he gave that authority to our parents over us. So when we born, the word that are spoken over us, the name they give us, usually, serve. It's an indication of what our purpose in life, what our purpose in that family would be, what that purpose in that community or even in that country would be. So you see, and we, the real Semite. So we are of the Creator. We are the lineage of God on earth. My children, is not a joke. So each one of the patriarchs, their names, whatever the matriarchs, proclaim over them that, their life purpose is just not a name. It attached to the blessing or the anointing of that particularity. Okay? So that's why it is important for you guys to know the background story and know a little bit more than what they allow us to have access through their book. Okay? So I would like you guys to understand that all of us, descendant of the 12 patriarchs, we are abundant, all of us. Because it comes with who we are. Tatan Zambe didn't choose us for us to go broke. I mean, our land alone speak for itself. The wealth, contained under our ground. It means he gave us everything, physically, mentally, intellectually. I mean, there's no field where you won't find us representing. So, and he gave us so much, and a lot is expected. So basically, when our forefathers were born, names were given to them, and those names are attached to them. Those names are attached to all their descendants and what those names means. Okay? So let's tackle about the abundance. As I was able to explain in the video, those who took the time to go watch it, our elders tells us about there's a key ingredient for us, the Bantu people, to activate our divine abundance. Okay? So the key ingredient is what they call the law of exchange. Okay? Let me tell you the story of the little pot. During, growing up, most vacation, my parents would either fly us to France or wherever they would choose, but my favorite destination was the village. I used to love to stay behind to go and hang out with my grandparents at the village. I didn't care for friends. I used to go to the village, swim in the river, climb on trees, eat mangoes, and really more it was because they were sharing so much knowledge with me. And I used to love, there was always a story behind every lesson, behind every knowledge they were transmitting. So let me share with you the story of the little pot. So one day, of course, I was the summer vacation. I loved it because all my siblings went to France. I was the only one in the village. I had the village to myself and my grandparents. So I noticed one of my grandmother's mom, one of my grandmother's friend, she heard that I was in town. So she heard that my grandparents' granddaughter was there, and as good Bantu we are, we welcome the person. We show that you are welcome. So she brought a pot of food. All right, it was one of my favorite dish. Those who knows bacalao. So my mothers over there, they knew my favorites. So when they know I'm in town, they know what to throw down. So she brought that pot, and she told my grandmother, "This is for our grandbaby. Welcome, welcome to see us. You thought about us. You come to the village, hang out with us." And of course, that night I ate. I was happy, and we sat around the fire like as usual and talk. Now, the next day, I see my grandmother cook. She cooks some, traditional dish, and then she calls her worker, her assistant, come and take this food to so and so's house. I'm like, okay. I'm like, Grandma, you sending the food you cooked? Grandma say, yes, I'm sending the food I cooked. And then I say, why? Why are you sending the food you cook? And the grandma say, because we'd never return a pot that came with food. We never return it empty, right? So I was like, so why do you also have to give a gift when they give you food? She said, yes, because that's how, we maintain our abundance. So that which the Muzungus, the Mundele is called the law of exchange. Our people already were on it. So you see, so basically my grandmother explained to me that what happens, Tata Zambe said that us as a nation, we are able to find everything we need within our nation. Within our nation, we have the bankers, as I call them, those, who are favored with anything that is finances. They usually be our entrepreneurs. When you see somebody starting their little business, if it's cookies, it's in them, So, and basically she explained to me that because wealth is an energy and it has to be circulating. Okay, when she blesses our home with a pot of food, our ancestor and Tatan Zambé on the other side is grateful to her and will bless her. So when we bless her back, her people will do the same thing. So you create an energy of wealth around you, So there's an exchange in every contact, every relationship, and it could be as little as, I don't know, just returning a smile to somebody who always smile at you. So, and then I started digging on the topic. So, and then we fell on the topic of the house of Israel we are from, which is the house of Joseph. She said that our people, we are the house of abundance. Is that, and it's true, because every little trinket they have to pass down or they have to share, it's always something related to wealth. It's always something, symbolizing our ancient wealth or something like that. So you see, with the house of Joseph, with the house of abundance. So among us, you found the entrepreneurs. It's just in us to never settle or feel fulfilled working for somebody. We always tend to be our own bosses, and whatever we touch just tend to flourish, So in reclaiming our identity, there are certain things about us that will be predominant in certain tribes. You will see a certain group of people, they just tend to be abundant. That's why our elders tell us to never copycat, because you saw somebody do something and they're doing it well and they're successful at it. It doesn't mean that we will have the same level of success attempting to do that same thing if it's not our purpose in life. So those of the house of Joseph are the entrepreneurs there. And you have to understand why many of us are in the predicament we are, because of our background, which are explained in length. That is usually it's faulty. You know, we have a lot of work to do in there. And, you know, we were really siblings who were, you know, raised in rivalry. So it brings this unnecessary resentment that us, the children, have nothing to do with the way the parents hooked up. Unfortunately, these resentment are going, you know, generation after generation. You just see the same thing happening over and over again. So it's time we tackle it, and it's time we heal it. Okay? Those of the house of Joseph, they are the one in charge. They have that anointing to multiply us, not only our wealth, but also in number. Our elders tell us that they tend to have many children. Our elders tell us that the children, the sons and daughters of Ephraim and Manasseh, is like, it doesn't, first of all, they have a lot of children. When it comes to the sons of Ephraim, and especially Ephraim, they'll have many kids. Their father is the most abundant of all of us. Usually their money is straight. And you will see them drag a trail of kids, and they take care of all of them. These are the Ephraim sons. They love children. They will never tell a girl to have an abortion. They claim all their children. And this is where Tata Zambe blesses them too. Okay? So, one thing you need to know about our abundance, to unlock it, you have to obey the law of exchange. And it's at every level. You know, try to give as much as you take. And it's all about energy. Some people, all they do is take. They find ways not to give. But what they don't know is like they're hurting themselves. They're keeping their blessing. They're keeping their flow locked. If you have a YouTuber you're following for whatever topic they're talking about, you like them, give a plus to their video, because they invested time, and time is energy, to make that video you just enjoy. The video did something, he gave an idea, he gave a click to you. So the person did a deposit, a contribution to your energy field. And sometimes we call it like people like we don't have manners anymore, but it's just like we just don't know how to give back, and it hurting us ourselves, because giving, it's also a protection. The hand that fed you, when you fight it, when you give, the hand that gives is it's on top, so you make the deposit, and this one is underneath it. So when this one tries to fight you, you remain on top. Our elders teach us. So giving, it's a protection in itself. It's a multiplier when it comes to us, when it comes to our wealth. Okay? So our wealth, unlocking our wealth is also tied in taking care of our offspring. Because Tata Zambe, as you could see in the video, those of you who have taken the time to go there and see it, you will see that each child is like a gift in the eyes of every mother. We are perceived as gifts. So they are gifts from Tata Zambe, indeed. He chooses us to usher the souls on earth. Whether the mom, whether the father, the responsibility is equally shared. So what happened when we walk away from those responsibilities is like the set of blessing that God dispatched on earth for that kid will never be released to you, because you didn't hold your hand of the bargain into the deal. Okay? So another thing, when you go and work for one of us, don't be like, okay, she want to see, because unfortunately our people are high risk to bring them around you. When you have a business, and you know me, I'm not a politician. I don't have to kiss anybody's behind and say things which are politically correct. I think that the sooner we tackle on our true issue, the better chances we have to heal and properly. There's nothing sustainable or long lasting we can build in the stage we are. We are so broken and fragmented. So healing is crucial. So when you go to a business or an establishment pertaining to a child of one of those, they say that they multiply our wealth, like those of Manasseh or Ephraim, and you go and ruin it, you bring forth curses of poverty, generational. So, because what happened in the spiritual, that person's ancestors come after you. Not only they come and take back whatever you stole from their loved one, but they also wipe clean your spiritual warehouse. Did you guys know that? So it's very important to treat each other's places of work, businesses, no matter how mad you are at somebody, don't pick up the phone and start making lies, which you know are lies, but you know, that's all the Munzungus out there waiting for. Many of you have brought curses, generational curses of poverty because of the impulse under which you act when you want to destroy somebody, when you want to hurt somebody. My dear children, it doesn't stop there. It goes generations after generation. Your children find themselves just struggling. They find themselves just being hired in jobs where they're being enslaved. And poor thing, they don't know where it comes from. Because an abominable act their ancestors have done in the name of jealousy. They ruin somebody who maybe Tatan Zambe has set to provide for 5 other families. And as you see, we are all interconnected. So in healing, we have to heal our ways. Siemi, Tamara, I see you. I see you, my queen. My father's sons and daughters are in the chat. I see you guys. Bamileke, I believe, the Bamileke, I believe, are Levi. The Bamileke. Watch the video hasn't come. The location is, I think it's coming Saturday. I did name the Bamileke in there. Yeah. So you have to understand the things attached to us. It is important that we understand the spiritual laws that accompany us, because just like as it says, the law is a law. It doesn't matter whether you were aware of even its existence for the repercussion to catch up with you. Okay? So in this time of healing, even when you get mad at your brother or your sister, don't go after his bread. Don't call his manager and make false claim. You don't know the angel, the ancestor, God himself behind, who gave that opportunity, who made it available for you to just go and ruin it just because you can. This is how generations are just lost, and then you have children who are paying the price of something they don't know. If they come to wealth as quickly as they got it, they lose it. Or if they come to wealth, it's the kind of wealth that bring death to them. It's the kind of wealth that bring the worst people around them, the kind of people that will eventually take them out. All these are curses. All these are not just, accidental things. Okay? So handle each other over there with care. So there are ways also, because our children in the diaspora are in a disadvantage because they were captured by savages who had access to their spiritual secrets. So, and you would even see it in the video I will publish about the location. They have them strategically dumped according to the area of interest. It was just so strange to find those of Yadani then. Okay, those of Yadani, they were dumped all around the DC area. That's the political capital. And who are those of Yadani to us? These are our lawyers, our judges, anything that has to do with legal. These are the senators, the same ones over there voting on laws that they know they undermine Africa. This is what not knowing who we are do to us, our own self. Okay? So somebody left a comment and asked about a name a grandmother came and gave to her mother at birth. When for us, when that happens, it means that you have to honor that name. Okay, that's what happened. There's no other way around it. Whomever the ancestor that came and claim you want to work with you is her reincarnating. We are immortal. Okay, so when you just had a child and you dream of somebody, your grandmother who had passed, and all of a sudden they just visit you in a dream. You just had a baby. They're letting you know they want to be the namesake of that child. Okay. So basically, our abundance is like that. Those of Ephraim and Manasseh, how do you identify yourself? Another way, okay, we tend to have many children. We tend to we tend to always work for ourselves. Let me drop a name of somebody out there I have identified as a child of one of the Joseph houses. What is that guy's name? He's a boxer. Floyd, yes. Yeah, Floyd. That's a Manasseh, that's Ephraim. In fact, the Manasseh one, they will have a lot of children. They'll marry their woman or their women. They're very like kind of a house kind of guy. The Ephraim guys are our flashy ones in the house of Joseph. They're flashy and they love women. Yes, I mean, they have a lot of children. And women also just tend to trust them with their womb. They don't care. A lot of women, they don't care how many children they already have. You see them with 15 kids. And the daughters, the same thing. The daughters of Joseph and Ephraim are very sought after. When it comes to the daughters, the abundance of their daughters work this way. Having them in your life alone, you will see changes, because in the spiritual, her people, this is what she's for in the house of Israel, to bring abundance wherever she shows up. So you will see, if you were searching for a job, you get a better offer, you get like maybe 3-4 callbacks, stuff like that when she's by your side. And the flow of that abundance is maintained as long as you keep her happy and protected and everything. So her angel of abundance, they will keep on pouring in onto you. The mistake I see many of our sons and daughters doing out there, sometimes they connect with the girl, they know that this one is my lucky charm for some reason. But when they reach it to the pinnacle of their career, they drop her. And this is where they welcome the worst Jezebel in their life that come and turn their life upside down. They don't understand, because they let go. They let go of their, like we say from Akuma, their wealth. Okay? And also our daughters out there, we tend to fall victim of users. Okay? The daughters of Joseph, they'd be The daughters of Joseph, what is good or bad? As a real, what is good or bad? Daughter of Joseph, yeah, they are very sought after. You know, the bosses go after them because once she's in your house, if it's a little store you had, you will see, boom, customers just come from nowhere. They like that, they're lucky charms. But also they have to protect themselves. Same thing with our sons. When you get a Jezebel, you get one of these water women that are, they have a water spirit that is completely off balance. And I see that a lot in many of our children, especially these entertainers. They have that water spirit is completely off balance. Some families are born with the mami, they call it mami water spirit. They're born with it and it's tied to abundance. All right. And she has some strict do's and don'ts. She loves cleanliness. She's a deity. Okay. And the Bakongo people, those picked up in that area, a lot of you guys have it, but you wouldn't know how to manage it if you don't even know what it is. You will see some of our daughters, they're beautiful, they make it and stuff, but they just can't live with anybody. They're like a man, because she gets off balance when you don't keep clean. When you go around sleeping around, she's highly monogamous. Same thing with the guys. A guy that has it, he be rich, he be abundant, but he can't be the one sleeping around. He gets her upset, and then she mess you up. She turns you into a monster. So it is important that you guys know these things, not because they took you from us, that at crossing the river, this thing didn't follow you guys. They follow you guys, and I see it in many of you. Some of you have it off balance. Our daughters, when you feel that you have become the man in your marriage, take a step back. She's letting you know that she's off balance. She's very feminine, okay? And the daughters and the sons, the daughters of Joseph, they're very sought after. Our elders tell us that they're very beautiful. There's something magnetizing about them, and they're very abundant. So yes, we fall prey to a lot of idiots out there. So you have to know how to protect your energy when you have that kind of abundance. Sometimes you find men that will overwork you because they notice that you get it easy like that, so they put you up front. But what he does is that it shies the ancestors on the other side, and he causes strife in the marriage. So your people start fighting him. They start pushing him out of your life. So when we have that, when we know who we are, it is important you watch these videos I'm going to be releasing. You have to be able to feel deep down, I'm a child of Manasseh, I'm a child of Ephraim, I'm a child of Zebulani, I'm a child of Asher. Asher is our cook, right? Our chef. Asher is in charge of feeding us with the best organic meals. So you have to kind of have a clear idea of who you are. So this is the season we are in, to learn more about ourselves, the goodies that come with us, and even the baddies. So we know how to navigate through life. So we know how to, not invite the worst in our experience. So be wise and not foolish. Okay, my children. So understand that our abundance, these people, they have us like that. You will see, because they know our spiritual secrets, so they harvest it without even you knowing it. All they need to do is take one of our sons or daughters, they put their name behind their brand, and if they invested $1 million in that contract, they make 100. This is the kind of abundance I'm talking about. So it is important that you don't let anybody drain you, and you don't try to drain anybody, because especially for you guys, the descendant of the crown royals. We have that in our families. When someone breaks into our spiritual warehouse, we go for not only what they took, but we wipe clean what they have. That's why I was, it's okay as a real. Do the women in your tribe are gorgeous like you? Yes, they are. They are called the Fang. We are a large group actually. They are Fang in Gabon. In Cameroon, we have several names. We call Betsi, we call Bulu, we call Ewondo, we call Eton. Eton, the Etons are the daughters of Ephraim. Etons are very crazy. They are known to have 5 minutes of madness daily. but um, but thank you, my dear. But they're known to have that, you know, they sought after. Yes, they sought after. Sassy. they the elders said that they have that thing that they will kill you, they will disarm you with their eyes. When they look at you, they disarm you. So that's why, you know, many of us are intimidating. They say that our Egyptian mothers gave us that witchcraft. They, anyway, we are who we are. So you have to understand that there's a lot of things attached to our abundance. So don't let anybody drain you. That's why the law, what the Muzungu called the law of exchange, our ancestors knew it long before they came about. You know, it's the story of the pot of food. So my grandmother, she said, never return an empty pot of food, because when they brought it to you, it was full with food. So when you return it, bless it also. You know, um, someone who taught you something, you know, give them that thing. You know, tell them I learned something. Thank you. The idea of competition, it was really to destroy us further than we were already divided. Because when you look deep into our family structure, we have nothing to compete about. Each house has got their set of blessing. Each house has got their specialty. In fact, we are bound to collaborate. We are forced to collaborate in order for us to ever have a successful nation. That's why you see me screaming at the dividers among us. Because how can Judah stand without a central bank? How can Judah stand without Yagada and his sons watching his back? How will be Judah fed without Asher feeding us? How, you know, we can't function. So when you cast a tribe away, you casting away the potential, everything, the contribution they could have brought to the tribe. You understand? The kingdom. DB, what do you want to learn, my dear? So you have to understand and start learning to identify. You know, some of you have, you know, where, you know, were born in families where they had entities that were working with the family or accompanying with the family, and it required a maintenance for things to be on, you know, on balance. But taking you guys like that, you guys, some of you see things that you don't even know what it means, what to, you know, what meaning to give to it. So slowly, this is the time of the liberation of us. What does it mean? The veil is lifted. We can now have that direct access to our Creator. Tatanzambeyo. Oh, connect with the ancestor. Ah, okay. So there's a lady I recommend, Yeyeyo, find her on YouTube. Her name is Yeyeyo Botanica. She got a pure aura, and I trust whatever advice she gives there. She has a video, a thorough video, how to set up an ancestral altar. Okay? What the altar does in your home, it creates a portal where you invite them in your life. Okay? They partake, they're there. So before you leave the house, my people, to my front, back, and side, make me invisible. And by so doing, you activate the shield of invisibility many of you are equipped with. Okay? So you go and check her out. She has a lot of knowledge. That's her specialty. But the Bakongo, if you're going to do like an ancestral altar, it's very simple. A place in your house where nobody goes running around, a table, a white tablecloth, a white candle, a white crystal glass with water. You start there with their picture, the deceased, no living people on a dead end altar, no. Only the deceased. If you don't have the picture, you print their name and frame it and post it, okay? Many of you are alive today because some people in the other side didn't give up. We are all about the survival of our kind. So somebody in the other side was like, generation after generation, we have to be around. We have to be part of the generation that will, witness the healing of our people falling back, followed by the gathering of them. And then we get distracted and then we get lost. How disappointing it is for them. Because I truly believe each one of us who's alive today, somebody on the other side is rooting mad about you to make it. Okay? Yes. Higher Hika, yes, the many tribes are really one tribe. I explained maybe yesterday how Tatan Zambe was multiplying from the 12 tribes. All the kingdoms that came about came from those tribes, from those 12. Okay? The perfect example to illustrate how we were multiplying in size and everything. Tatan Zambe, you saw Yakuba. In the house of Jacob, he said he saw two sons worthy of having a kingdom. So he made two kingdoms out of one that was already their father. So you see, so all these kingdoms, those different tribes, as we marry, we were intermarrying. Those of Joseph would marry those of Ephraim or those of whatever. We were intermarrying, but we were never crossing blood. Never believe the story, even in the Bible, when they tell you that our ancestor Abraham was married to his sister. Tatans are made for us, the Bantu, the real Israelite. We don't mix, we don't do inbreed. That's why Tatans are made ask us to create clans. So we don't cross, especially with the paternal. That's why we came up with clans, because we have to maintain our lineage, our blood strong. And interbreeding weakens us. It's not our doing, because they kept doing that. And they knew the world would hear stories about brothers screwing sisters and having children with them. So they put in the Bible, it was not. No. Okay, my children. The same God who created men is the same God who created women. He never told us to be incestuous in no time in our history. My dear son, Dr. Lumbumba, Western Bantu, yeah. I always recommend that company called African Ancestry, because I tested them when they just came out, and they nailed it. They give the tribe. I don't know if they're still doing it. I heard they're enlarging their database, But in the case of the cities with the destination, with the different location. In some cases, you'll be able to, if you know your port of entry has the name of a city here that stood here, and that name happens to be like a village or something, it will take you to the village of your ancestor, and from there you'll find which one of the tribe of Israel. But I know that those of Gada, those of Naphtali, those of Zebulani, it's the west part of Africa. If you wonder why they always go and beg the Senegalese whenever they fight a stupid war, come and fight for us, because they know the home of Gada is in that coast. The tall, lanky, dark, these are our warriors. Our elders tell us that they have that warrior spirit. And how do we identify which one of you could be of Gada, Yagada? Is those children of ours who always have to have a weapon somewhere. From a young age, they have to have a weapon somewhere. They're obsessed with weapon. They're obsessed with, things of war. These are the children of Gada. Our elders also tell us that the children of Yagada, in times of conflict, the spirit warrior come over them and they're fearless. Who are these children you see around, these boys of ours that commit suicide by cop? Those who be charging at cop, these are descendants of Gada. It's like a spirit, it's the warrior spirit, which makes them dangerous because they're fearless. So our elders teach us that when we have a child with this characteristic, we don't scream at him, we don't yell at him, we don't know. We tell him, okay, we start teaching him. Protecting is a good thing. Some of us are born to protect us. Maybe you're descendant of one of these fallen warriors. So you start coaching them on what to kill and what not to kill. You start coaching them on what to hit and what not to hit. You start coaching them on what to strike, because they're men of actions. This is what they're about. So you start teaching him, you protect your siblings, you protect your brothers, you protect your sisters. That's why the story of my ancestor, Yusafio, you could tell there that somewhere the matriarch, Leona, dropped the ball, because our elders tell us that when you are a wife of many, you ought to train the children and tell them from a young age that they're brothers. You tell the oldest that each time you step out of the house, you protect the youngest, and you let them know you never come back home here without the youngest. That's what our elders tells us to do when we're training children. So you could see that there, the matriarch, she gave her resentment to some of her children, and we are suffering the consequences of that today. So you see that these children that are descendant of Yagada, they will have that thing. So you start molding them from a young age. You tell them, no, Papa, you are not to kill animals. If you see them, if you catch them being a cruel, tall animal, it's like, no, you are born to protect us. You are born to protect Dad, Mom, and your siblings. If you see that spirit in them, don't shy it away from them, but mold them so they won't end up in a gang. They will know that they are born to protect their people, not to take their lives, but protect them. You see? So you start molding them like that, and trust them. If they're like a teenager and stuff, you have a weapon in the house and stuff, show them where the weapon is. If dad is decapitated in case of an emergency, you will be the one, you be the second one in command when it comes to weapon in this house, stuff like that. So you have to start gradually, especially you guys in the diaspora, because we got so mixed up so much. So you may have a child who's from Manasseh, you may have a child who's from Ghana, and you may have a child who's from Zabulani, you may have a child who's from Yaazele, like that. So you see, so you have to be observant and see what particularity is, ours, and teach our children from a young age to take pride in whatever vocation they want to go. If a child come and tell you, Mommy, I want to be a chef, don't tell, oh, why won't you be a doctor? He's born to feed Israel. He's born to feed his kings. You see? So it's important you know who you are. My beautiful and amazing royals of Africa. I missed something. How do we protect ourselves? The children of Ephraim, Manasseh, you are very abundant. And especially nowadays, these days, there's a lot of teaching about witchcraft, how to snatch people's stars, how to snatch this, and that. All I can tell you is like, be careful who you bring in your bed. You know, there are certain areas, our inborn protections out there. It's just like in the past, right? Israel was facing famine, and who ended up helping? It was Joseph. So Tata Zambe put the house of Joseph in a position of problem solver, really, for Israel. This is who we are. We are the problem solver. You want money here. You want baby here. What else? What else do you? We want house. We build a Titanic on land. This is the kind of things we do for the nations. So when our children, when you come in contact with us, don't come and ruin our opportunities. Don't come and ruin our whatever we're building, because you don't know where it comes from. You know, you have so much to gain in the contrary by blessing us than trying to take from us, than all the nastiness they do out there. They see you post the video, they be the one reporting it, you know, to mess up your view, to they don't know the karmic equity, the things they're doing. Because the Bible says, he who bless Israel will be blessed. He who protects Israel will be protected. What makes you think that those consequences or blessing won't apply to us when it's us doing one another? Who told you that? You see? Okay. That was it for today, my beautiful and amazing royals of Africa. PH say, Queen, we came from Cameroon, Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone, Guinea, Ghana, Nigeria. Which tribe are these from? How do we tell? Okay, my dear son or daughter, what you will need is to find the port of entry of the original ancestor. And that one you can find if you know your family has always been from a particular city and people just left and came back. Some of them didn't come back, but you know that your roots in this country is that city. That's your port of entry. So once you get that, you are from Barbados. Oh, okay, which city? But wait, we're going to publish it on Saturday. I went extensively. In the islands, I found all our children, just like in America, all of you. Because, and you know, my children, there's this game they call Manankla. I don't know if you guys know it. It's a board game. You put stones and stuff. I found several cities in Cuba, in Dominican Republic. There was another one just lined up, Manankla. I'm like, who do they have there? What does Manankla means to them? So I looked up and he pointed to a chessboard, which we, the Fang people, call Songo. It's a game that generated from our area. So it's a game they love to play. I told you that our people with the entrepreneur, so it's like a mathematician game. So the Songo, we call it Songo, but they took it in Latin America and they call it Manankla or Manankal. So basically, it's the game that came from the people of Manasseh. So you will see that even in there, I found the root of the patriarch, Manasseh, because that chessboard is linked to us. We're the one who brought it about. So in some cases, they had little code names like that. But the Tiwa in Africa are said to be a beautiful tribe of people. Yes, Majority of our tribes are beautiful, very peaceful. Mankla, there you go, Mankla. Yes, Mankla is really Manasseh people because that game it's a board game. You put stones. We the one who brought it about, we call it Songo. So that was the code name for the tribe of Manasseh, you know, Manasseh. And there's another thing that really blew my mind when I asked Tatan Zambe, who do they have in Panama? They told me, your people, the house of Manasseh. Panama is really a city in Africa called Manama. And it was an establishment of Manasseh. The only trace we found on it was in Zimbabwe, I believe, or Mozambique. So Manama was a settlement of Manasseh. I told you our people, we have different names depending on the tribe. So Manama, since it was question of creating a patriarchal world, they removed the M and put a P. Panama, my people, full of them. And I found that Manankla there too. All right, my children, so we spent a beautiful hour. So let me give you a proper closing. So to my beautiful and amazing and blessed and abundant royals of Africa, peace in your home, my children, love in your heart at all time, and unity, for without which the new Israel will never see the light of day. Until next time. Oh, the Tikar of Cameroon. The Tikar of Cameroon is a very powerful tribe. As to the tribe, the patriarch under whom they fall, I don't know, but I suspect that Judah. I am yet to talk to the Tikar, but the Tikari, they still have a king. The Judah kingdom got completely destroyed, meaning their royal family, their royal house. They had like 3 kingdoms of Judah. Their royal house were wiped out. I don't know, unless if the Tikars are of Judah, because they're very close to where the main Judah kingdom stood. They're very powerful. They have some kind of magic that none of us still have. When a Tikari king dies, his body disappears and he goes to the mountain with the ancestors. Yeah, I found out that my ex-husband's ancestors were Tikari. Powerful people. So you are welcome, my amazing son, Dr. Lumbumba. All right, you see, the name is very important. This son of ours, he told me that his daddy named him the day or a few days after they murdered our iconic son, Patrice Lumbumba. And he's a warrior for his people. The first video I put out, he was like, this is our queen. Because you know what? Blood is calling. Naming our children right is important. I haven't seen him with my eyes, but I know he's a boss, a Monkosi, just like his father's too. Okay? So peace, love, and unity. Matando, my beautiful children, until next time. You want to do this tomorrow again? My royals, let's meet tomorrow. Yes, all right. Okay, Rosa, okay. All right, my people. Your wish is my command. So come back tomorrow. We'll be here the same time. Okay, my lovelies? Peace, love, and unity. All right. Be blessed, my dear children. Mwah.